What's up, guys? It's your boy Ray B, maybe back with a better video this time, and today I'm here to talk about kind of a serious topic. Pretty much I've been wanting to make more videos around being genuine and talking about my positive opinion and my advice on how to get through things that you guys might be going through, or maybe things that I've been through before in my past, and mostly dealing with the transgender aspect, but I do want to get into everything. If you guys saw my recent post on Instagram, I posted and pretty much told you guys to give me or ask me questions, any ideas dealing with mental health, abuse, addiction, dysphoria, everything like that. So you guys did. You guys commented and gave me some good ideas. And one comment that stuck out to me that I personally have been wanting to make a video on for a while is being transgender and dealing with sexual trauma. And I did make a video back in the day talking about how being transgender has affected my sex life. So if you haven't seen this video, how being trans has affected my sex life, I think you should go back and watch that video before watching this one, because it'll probably make a little bit more sense. And a disclaimer, I will be in and out of shirt because I'm totally filming this video again in another day, and I'm taking the two clips and I'm editing them together. Sorry for the confusion. You guys should go back and watch that video because I'm going to get into why talking about sexual trauma and being transgender relates to me. So 8 months ago I posted this video and I talk about my bottom dysphoria, and I really just kind of relate. That video is all about how my bottom dysphoria has affected everything in my life that has to do with sex, because I was uncomfortable and I became really, really grossed out and uncomfortable with myself when things talking around sex or things around that were brought to me. Like sexual music, sexual movies, just sexual conversations, anything like that would really make my bottom dysphoria trigger. But I've come to realize, and this is why I want to make this video, that I've actually been experiencing sexual trauma. I didn't know where this came from. I personally never had such bad bottom dysphoria that I felt like I couldn't function just during my daily life. I've had breakdowns and I have experienced dysphoria, but I just never for so long, 24/7, every second of the day, was I worried about this. I was almost asexual. That's what that video was about, was that I was experiencing such bad bottom dysphoria that I felt like I was becoming asexual, and then I wasn't feeling like I liked sexual things or sex in general or anything like that, because I was so I guess just like I felt so like guilty and gross with myself, and I didn't understand that. Later throughout this pandemic and what I've been dealing with, which a lot of people don't know, is I have now come to realize that I have been going through some sexual trauma. And I've been talking with my therapist and, a lot of doctors and friends and family about this situation. Now, I don't want to go into too much of detail as to why I have this sexual trauma. I'm still kind of figuring out myself as to what this is truly become of. But as of now, I just want to talk about what I'm feeling, not necessarily what happened and everything like that. I guess I want to really go into detail about how my feelings have kind of switched up, because as I've been talking to my therapist and family and friends, I have learned something very important that I didn't know. I learned that I was mixing up my dysphoria feelings and the sexual trauma feelings that I was going through, and I was mashing them together when they didn't need to be related. I just want to talk about how being trans and sexual trauma and the dysphoria that comes with being trans and how it's different. Because when it came down to me going through this, I figured I was relating a lot of these feelings of my sexual trauma to being trans. I was relating these feelings to dysphoria into hating myself. I was relating the fear of feeling like I could be violated or, someone could take advantage of me. I was relating that to being trans, as if I wasn't trans, I couldn't be violated or I couldn't be assaulted, which I think I want to talk about this so bad because it's something I was so blinded on. I thought that, in all honesty, it was like I have a huge, huge chance of being assaulted or violated because I'm trans. And I don't think that that's the truth. I think that in any situations, no matter what, parts, genitals you have, anybody could honestly take advantage of that if given the chance. And that sounds scary, but in the same sense, it gave me some satisfaction of just being who I am, because dysphoria really can eat away at you mentally. Just because I start to demasculinize myself, and I start to think that it's something wrong with me. And that's not true, and that's not fair. If I'm being honest, it's been 8 months, and I'm still struggling, but things are getting better for me. I'm just trying to separate those two feelings, the dysphoria and the fear and the PTSD that I have from my experience, because I know that it's different. I was really, really confident in myself. I really loved my body, after I got top surgery. I remember what it was like. I was confident, and I felt good about myself, and I told myself I could wait for bottom surgery and I'll always have time, and it didn't matter because the only person that's really involved with that is someone that I love. I'm not going around just showing my parts to anybody. That's just me. So I try to relax on the dysphoria a little bit. I try to remind myself that everyone needs pleasure sometimes. And if you have someone that you love and that you cherish, you should feel comfortable. Even if you're trans, and even if you're not fully transitioned and fully have all the surgeries and everything like that, you should be able to feel confident. Binding or doing whatever makes you feel confident. I think that's such a hard thing, being trans and having confidence in yourself and realizing that at the end of the day, people make too much of a big deal of what you got going on, and it's no one's business but yours. And I was taking that, and I was trying to put it on myself like, oh, I'm dysphoric, and the reason I can't feel pleasure and the reason that I can't have sex and do all these things is because I'm trans. And I won't stand for that. I don't stand for that. I don't feel like that's fair. I am allowed to have pleasure. I am allowed to be comfortable. I should be allowed to feel comfortable, and I should be allowed to have pleasure. And it should be normal and easy for us. For the sexual trauma, as much as the dysphoria is I'm doing well. And I think testosterone is helping me out with that, because obviously you do get a little bit of bottom growth on testosterone. So I do feel a little confident. But as of the trauma and the PTSD, just for sex in general, it's still hard for me. I still can't really watch movies that have graphic scenes like that, and I find myself having to calm myself down when a song comes on and says something a little like nasty. And I am getting better. I don't go into panic as quick anymore. I learn to relax myself, and I try to tell myself, hey, it's just a song, or it's just It's a movie, and it's a natural thing that people do, you know, and I just try to tell myself, like, you're safe, and you're comfortable, and everything's okay. But I know it's going to take time. I think when you go through a traumatic event, and especially when it's something, you know, that does have to do with, you know, sexual assault, I think it's really, really hard to heal quickly from that. I think it does take time, and it takes understanding, and it takes healing. And it's something that shouldn't happen, but it does. It's so hard for me to make this video. The reason I'm going back in between shirts and stuff, you know, I'm taking a whole other day to film this because I had to get my thoughts straight after watching the first one. I realized that I just didn't really have my thoughts together. It's hard to give advice on this because I'm still learning and healing myself. But I felt like I was at a good place where I could share with you guys and maybe get some feedback from you guys. And hopefully, if any of you guys have just been through something similar, you can just know that you have someone who understands. I think that that's like all I want to talk about for now with that. But if you guys have any questions, or if anybody has any advice for me, or anything that anybody wants to pitch in, if I said something that you guys might think is like off or just not accurate, or you guys want to enlighten me, please do. I really want to get your guys' feedback on this. This is a really, really deep conversation, and I think it could probably be carried for a long time, so I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Another thing I guess I wanted to talk about, because I was doing some research, is the aspect of... My camera stopped, okay. Is the aspect of kids transitioning because of sexual assault. Now, I have gotten this question, and I don't know if you guys or other trans people can relate to this, but I have gotten the question a lot that, you know, from my parents and people from, you know, in my family, and, you know, the question, did something happen to you? Did someone do something to you that made you uncomfortable with being a female? Now, I'm gonna stand out and say straight out for me that I don't think that's the case for me. I don't remember anything happening before transition like this that would make me want to transition. So I don't know about that for me, because I haven't experienced, that's not the reason I transitioned. And I don't know if I know anybody who has transitioned because of that. But I did do some research, and I read some stories of people who have. I don't know if the aspect of that is good or not. I don't know. That's hard to put my opinion on, guys, because I haven't had that talk with anybody like that. And if any of you feel comfortable sharing, if anybody knows anyone, or if any of you personally have been through that, please share. And if you feel comfortable, please share and enlighten me and give me some talk back on that conversation, because I would really like to know what that's like, so I can talk about that more with you guys. But yeah, this was a really hard video for me to make. It's kind of choppy, so I do apologize for that. But that's gonna be all for now, just because I don't even remember what I've been filming. I gotta go back and edit this and make sure all of my words are right. But I love you guys so much, and to the person, I'm probably gonna put your comment in here if I can find it. But shout out to you for asking such an advanced and deep question, to be honest, because I really, really, really wanted to get into this, and I didn't know how. So I really appreciate you for bringing it up. If there's anything else that you guys want me to get into or talk about, if you guys have any questions on what I've been through or anything like that, you guys feel free to ask me in the comments. The more comments, the better. I read all my comments, I reply, I like, so please, please, please drop a comment. And also give this a thumbs up if you liked this video, if this video helped you out, and subscribe, because you can always unsubscribe if you want to. So, yeah. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and yeah, that's all for this video. Into the next one.